Thank you, Gabe. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity to enjoy some lunch and your journey up was okay for you. You're feeling ready to be energised, I hope, by today's and tomorrow's speakers, exhibitors and workshops. First of all, I'd like to thank Gio as the outgoing president for helping to ensure a smooth handover from himself to myself. I'm not trying to copy Gio's style in any way, but I thought I would put a bit of colour on today for you. And I've already had a few comments about what a lovely green, so I've obviously done something right. But I always saw Gio as somebody who always looked immaculate, beautiful Italian shoes, lovely watches. I can't afford those things, so I've done my best. I'm hoping that the next 2 days will be a chance for us to get inspired, and usually I'm inspired by people that you meet in most unusual circumstances. And for me, it's about the humanity that we all bring that makes these leadership roles a privilege to be part of the public sector in Wales. And I think sometimes, you know, we get worried about what the press are saying, the negative news, and I brought with me today just a little reminder of how sad it is sometimes when the media gives a very negative portrayal. And some of you may have seen this. It was in the Saturday, May the 9th, the South Wales Echo. You know, in a big picture, and the first headline was, "Social workers stole OAP's precious watch." And you know, that could have been describing a nurse, a doctor, a fireman. And when you actually read the detail of that article, it wasn't a social worker at all. It was a burglar who was pretending to be a social worker. And there is something for me about, you know, we keep criticising or looking for blame. And I think there is something for all of us in these leadership positions to always fight back and make sure we challenge some of those negative perceptions. You know, our social workers, our frontline care support workers do an excellent job, and we should never forget that. And you know, I just think we must fight it whenever we see it. It's wrong to just ignore it. And most people who know me well will know that, you know, I always like to get issues on the table. I don't like pretending things are not as they should be. So there is something about honesty and integrity in these roles, that if you believe it and you think something's not right, you must say it. It's almost our duty to do it. So the other big thing about today is, and hopefully you've packed them, you've seen them in your delegate packs, is bingo. And I thought bingo had gone out of fashion, but I've been quite excited by the idea of collecting numbers from visiting all of the exhibitors and having a chance at winning a nice prize to give a charity of your choice an additional cash benefit. So look in your delegate bag for details. I've already been around the exhibition hall this morning and impressed by the quality of the range of exhibits. And I'm always fascinated by some of the technology that I've seen. And that's another area where I think we probably haven't scratched the surface yet in terms of health and social care, the way that new technology is going to be able to help the clients we support. I've also looked at the posters. Again, I haven't looked at all of them in detail yet, but the one thing that struck me was the professionalism of those posters. So if you haven't seen them yet, go and have a look at those posters and speak to the people manning those stalls. You know, there's people who are proud to be doing what they're doing, and you know, that is fantastic. We must celebrate it. So lots of excellent work going on. So I encourage you all to go around, collect your bingo numbers, be in with a chance to win. And a real special thank you to all of our speakers who are going to join us today and tomorrow. And simultaneous translation of Welsh is available, so you'll see the headsets on your tables in front of you, and you just press the little switch on the bottom, and if you want to try that now, make sure you can, you know, to use your equipment, that it's all working okay. Would my colleague like to say something? All working okay? Thank you very much. Okay. I'm hoping the speakers will offer their words of wisdom to us and encouragement for the challenges ahead, and I'm sure they will, and more about the sponsors later, but just to name some of our sponsors for this event, which wouldn't happen without them. So OLM, CareWorks, Embrace, Autism Initiatives, Amberley Care and Core Assets. The other thing I want to demonstrate, and this is a test of my technology now, is in your pack you'll see a little emblem here of Llandudno Beach with all the coloured pebbles. That's a little memory card, and that's got all of the, it isn't working, there it is. It flicks out, you just press the end. That's a little memory card with all the presentations on. Okay, without further ado, what I want to do now is, as I was thinking about what I wanted to say for today, just as a welcome in and to get us in the mood, and trying to remind us why we're here, and you know what a privilege it is to be here. I commissioned a video which is a little reflection from across Wales of service users, but also practitioners providing support at the front line. And one of the things I try and always do is, you know, no matter what position you're in, try to always remember really keeping that citizen at the focus of what we're doing. And sometimes we are the people who give citizens who are vulnerable a voice. And again, I think that's right and proper in a very busy 21st century when everybody's competing for attention. Sometimes the citizens that we support are the ones who are less able to give a voice. So hopefully this video will give you a flavour of some of the voices we've captured around Wales. Could you play the video, please?
They are involved 100% from the beginning to the end in relation to the goal setting, what the local authority would like to see. Client collaboration is at the sort of forefront of everything we do.
That's where Laura comes in again from Age Connect with a discharge support role, is that she actually goes and discusses things with the patients rather than bypassing the patient and discussing everything with their relatives and carers and making sure they don't get they have a voice. They have a voice and they're not lost.
Whilst a patient at hospital, I had quite a bit of involvement in my care and treatment plan. But as an outpatient, I hardly had any involvement. Luckily, I had a lot of help with it later on from Julian at Mind.
She takes the time to work with your child, find out what they enjoy doing, what they don't enjoy doing, and works on the positives of that child.
We ask them what they want to achieve by coming here, and that's what we put down on paper, and that's what we deliver.
Within our team, from the moment that we meet a family, we're trying to really connect and engage with them to understand where it is they want their life to be. And right throughout the process of the work, we're supporting them to imagine where they want to get to and the small steps that they're going to take to help them get there.
We had a team, and the whole team and myself got me to where I am.
So really, I'd just like to public transport or transport for wheelchairs become more accessible for me so that I can put less strain on my family and live a more independent life.
All senior management could follow the service providers and see the dedication and the loyalty that the service providers are giving to the people they care for.
Well, what I don't like, I just don't like it when it's noisy. Like I say, when it's noisy.
No, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change it at all. And I definitely wouldn't go back to Roos. I would come back here 100%. It's lovely.
If I could change anything at all, it would be to provide 24-hour care package to enable a person to go back to their own home.
And it'd be great if systems could change and we could support systems to change so that social workers and other professionals had more time to be able to practice in the same way as our team does.
If I could change anything, it'd probably be the forms and the amount of time that I spend doing administration things. I just want to be on the floor, seeing what people are doing and helping them to achieve their dreams and their hopes and their goals.
They need to find out what it is that he really wants, what he wants to do with his life. Not just, oh well, we'll send him to a day centre, like you said, for a day or something.
Social worker, they need to see people they are talked to, not wheelchair. It does make me really angry I not know why they do it.
The most satisfying part of my care is knowing that patients have left hospital, gone home to a safe environment where they are supported effectively and properly in the community.
I like going out with them, with the staff here when they take me out, everything, and I like it like with all the staff here. I do, and I've enjoyed it when I've been visiting it. Friends at Stephen at Visit Road.
When I've supported the patient and families to meetings, the meetings have gone along a lot smoother, a lot quicker, because I was able to explain to them before the meeting what the process would be and what we would be discussing on that day.
The best thing about the IFST is the opportunity and the time and space that we have to work with families, to really engage with them, to get to know their stories and to help them work towards the kind of life that they want to have.
Well, I can make my own choices when I'm independent.
What's good about the service is the staff that we employ. I think that we employ people that have a passion to work with the people.
Letting go of your child is really hard in the beginning. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but obviously the service was there, we gave it a shot, and I cannot praise this service enough.
I like going to watch rugby, sports. I like going out with Chris in the van, Naomi and all that. Then I like going to the train and the buses, and then we get out more, don't we, Jimmy?
I think to be friendly and to show that care, that they do care what that person wants to do, and if they don't want to do it, well, let's think of something else, you know.
Do you know, life is a toil when you get older, it's a toil. But to come to this and know you're happy, and I am happy, very happy.
And here they're treated as individuals. We don't treat their disability, we just treat them as individuals.
The girls, they do see me not wheelchair.
The good things about the service I received was the people who believed in me and not just looked down at me and judged me by how I was and looked at the time. They could see the good in me, and I felt I could make it through that dark time and live normally again.
And so I over social services and the carers which they've given me and put in place an awful lot, because I don't know how or if I could have carried on 8 years ago if they hadn't.
To everybody who participated in that video. For me, it struck a real chord when I heard it a couple of days ago. So thank you for everybody for giving their permission to enable that to happen. And for me, it is about thinking about how well do we listen to people. I know that is a major part of the new Social Services and Wellbeing Act. I'm not going to say any more about that because there'll be speakers today and tomorrow who will focus on the legislation and what we're trying to achieve. But it is about thinking about the spirit of the Act and what that is, and it is really about giving people a strong voice and real control.